Hello, friends. I decided to open the window up before I got everything set up, so forgive all the clicking that's about to happen. It's Carrie. We're going to do some stretching today, and I'm excited about that. I hope you guys are doing awesome. I have to admit, a little bit emotional today. I closed my studio yesterday for the last time. Done with that building and the fine arts building and having a brick and mortar studio. It's it's tough. I'm struggling a bit today. Now, that being said, those of you who are my regular clients, don't fret. I'm still around. I'm still doing class. As soon as we have a good treatment option and I can guarantee the safety of my clients, I will open back up. But I don't think we're at that place yet, at least not in downtown Chicago. So that's where I'm at. But I am doing online things. So if you need private sessions, reach out. If you want to take class, here I am. You have so many options on YouTube as well. And I'm, of course, I'm a resource. So put a note in the comments, ask me questions. I have all the answers, all of them. I'm working on some other stuff too. So stay tuned for new and exciting online options. As closing a studio is, as much as that sucks, and it's basically 13 years of my life that I put into that place. It's tough. It's tough to close down. It's really sad, and I don't like it. But at the same time, this is opening up a whole new venue for me, for resistance stretching, for stretch chi, for wherever the future takes us. So I'm really excited to keep working on a global scale. YouTube is a great platform. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you who have been supporting me during this time. All of you who have reached out, who have shown up for class. I mean, I can't tell you how much I love you guys, and I'm thrilled you're here today. We're going to do a bunch of stretches today that are gentle, because that's what I need today. Gentle stretches and things that can help you process grieving. I think at this time in life, regardless of whether you have something to grieve, life is different, and there will be some grief that happens just based off of the fact that life isn't what we had 2 months ago, right? So let's go ahead and work through some of these stretches, see if we can get this grief out of our physical body, and go on with our day, right? Let's do it. Okay, now, I don't know why the internet connection just got good. So hopefully it stays that way. Sorry if it was a little rough before. Let's see. There we go, all set up. Now, for those of you who are new to Ki-Hara, if you're just stumbling across this video, random, do your best, follow along, make sure that you follow 3 rules: move, resist, and stay out of pain. If that's hard for you to figure out right now, then you probably want to go check out some of my other videos. There's a great playlist called Stretching for the Inflexible. That's a good place to start, especially if this video just seems too complicated, okay? So don't worry about it if you're like, I don't know what's going on. Just go to my channel and figure it out. There's tons of resources for you. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon too, so you don't miss any of the classes. Okay. All right. This is Jeff. He's a new fixture inside of my house, but the skeleton, he found his new home. So yay for Jeff. All right, so what we're going to do first is just stretch out our inner thighs. So bring your feet up towards the ceiling, lay on your back, hold your knees on the inside, and resist by trying to pull your legs together. Then use your arms to open your legs wide. Just take it nice and easy, allowing yourself to feel that stretch until it's just at the point at the end of the stretch. If you don't actually need to pull into a deep, deep, deep stretch, just pull to the place where you feel good, and then come right back out. It's okay to shake a little bit in the stretch. Don't worry too much about that. Just make sure that you're resisting. So you pull in for strength, your arms fight, and you open up for your stretch. And you should feel this on your inner thighs right here. Now, what I'm noticing that's very funny for me, especially because this stretch, this muscle group really correlates with how our bodies process grief. And we have compensation patterns that our bodies naturally build to avoid certain things. And the compensation pattern for this muscle group is your hamstrings. And I am feeling a little pinch in the back of my left hamstring, which I've never, ever felt before that I can remember. I mean, that's fascinating. So to me, yep, there it is. Okay, cool. So to me, that's a sign that this stretch is maybe not the right stretch for me. Those of you who have done Ki-Hara before, you know that there's a whole problem-solving element to Ki-Hara, right? This method has some of these like little tips, these little ways that you feel, these little cues that tell you, is this stretch working the best for you or not? This is Suri. Yes, she's helpful. She's helpful, right? She's very excited about all this new stuff in my house today. To move the studio into this room. All right, so now let's work on our glutes. So bring your right leg on top of your left leg, reach through and grab your left leg with both hands, and then you're gonna resist like you're trying to push your left leg, or push your right leg, I'm sorry. Like you're trying to push your right leg away and at the same time pull your left leg in towards your body, okay? Since there's force between the two, the right leg will push you out so that your arms are really straight and your arms will pull you in for your stretch. So on the way out is strength training. On the way in is your stretch. And you'll feel this in the glute on your right side, like right in your butt. If you don't feel that, it's okay. It just means that we have some other work to do and we are gonna work through these muscles. So you can just skip it, switch to the other side. If this is tough on your knees, same thing. Just work in a smaller range of motion or just go ahead and skip the stretch because that's how this method works. Today you skip it, but tomorrow might be a really great day and everything goes fine, right? A lot of it depends not only on what kind of tightness you have in your body, some of the like genetic things that you have or the incidents and accidents that you've had in life, but also life, right? Like all of a sudden I have this weird hamstring thing that's never been there before. And I know, because I know my body and I know what I've been through, that it's just grief. It's just my body trying to protect me physically from the grief. It's what our muscles do. They protect us from a lot of things. So let's work around it and see if we can retrain these muscles so that they'll work in the best way possible, okay? So bring your left leg on top of your right leg, reach through and grab your right leg with both hands, push out with your left leg while you pull in with your arms. So you're gonna get this resistance stretch through your glute on the left. Should be right here, maybe into your IT band too, which is the side here. Just see what feels good to you. Out for strength and in for stretch. Your left leg is pushing out. And while it continues to push out, you pull in with your arms to find that stretch in the back of your left leg. Whew. There's something here, that's for sure. So find this in the best way possible, okay? If that means working in a smaller range of motion, that's okay. If it means having your head up or wrapping a towel around your leg instead of holding it with your hands, that would be all right. Find what works for you. If you know variations to this stretch, if you've been with me for a while, another variation would be to lay on your side and push up that one, the clamshell one. Or you could do this sitting in a chair. If you know the stretches, you can substitute. That's okay if you know them. Just make sure that you don't do anything that hurts, okay? Stretching should always feel good, even if you're not sure that you do, right? I'll tell you guys, it's tough. I put in a smile. I always try to see the bright side of life, but that doesn't make it easy, right? You can always see the optimistic outline. You can always see the good thing that's coming or the next stage or whatever. I can always see that. That doesn't change the fact that it's sad, regardless, right? So honor those emotions. It's okay to honor your emotions, whichever ones you're having today, whether it's sadness or whether it's fear or whether it's anger or whatever it is. It's okay to have those feelings and honor them. Just don't let them settle into your muscles. It's not where they should be. Okay, so kick down for strength for this stretch. This is my right leg. You're gonna reach up with your arms so that, I didn't say that in a very good way. Wrap your hands around your right foot. Kick your heel down toward your butt. That's gonna give you resistance in your hamstring. You'll feel it engaged. Then pull your arms over your head, and that'll give you the stretch in your hamstring, okay? You can go back and forth. I like to hold my head up with my left hand while I pull with my right hand. But it's a straight up and down motion. You just do what feels good to you. You could wrap a strap around your foot too. That would work out okay. That'd be totally fine. You just go back and forth. I don't know who's nailing. Somebody's nailing something in my apartment building. Hopefully they'll stop soon, but if you hear that, I apologize. So you're kicking down for strength and pulling up for stretch. And again, you should feel this in the back of your leg right here. If you don't feel that, it's okay. Just, take your time through it. More move in a smaller range of motion. And if you feel like it's just like not your stretch, then just don't do it. Just skip it. Move on to the next stretch. Tomorrow might be a different day. So tomorrow you could try them again and you might be able to do the stretch no problem, or like in 3 days or in a week. Who knows? But sometimes you just have to clean up some other things first. Once you clean up some other muscles, these will unlock, okay? All right, so we're gonna switch to our other hamstring. This time, bring your left leg in close. Grab your foot with your left hand or wrap a strap around it or use both hands, but your knees should be pointing straight in. You'll kick down for strength and pull up for stretch. I'm gonna hold my head with my right hand while my left hand does this work. But I'm pulling straight up and down. So my knees pointing like right in towards my shoulder here. And you just go up and down. Down for strength, up for stretch. You know what I bet it is? We flooded last week. There was a horrible rainstorm and somebody had nailed into the ceiling to install into the roof to install a TV disc, whatever those things are called, cable TV, direct TV kind of thing. And it split right in half. And it started raining in my apartment like crazy and in my neighbor's apartment. I bet they're fixing their side. That means mine's coming soon. You guys, it was crazy. It was like a full-on, like I had pots and pans everywhere. It's very interesting finding. All right, we're going to come up into a lunge. Bring your left leg in the front, your right leg behind, and you're going to try to scissor both legs together. Now, I have noticed a bruise. I think I must have landed on the hard floor one day on my knee here. So I'm going to put a towel under my leg. You're welcome to do the same. And then I'm going to scissor both legs together. My front leg is going to pull back, and my back leg is going to try to pull forward. Use your front leg to pull you into a lunge. You'll feel this in your right hip, right in the front. And then use your back leg to pull you back. You just go back and forth. Forward is strength training. When you go backwards, it's your stretch. So you just go back and forth, just like that. And you should feel this hip flexor right here in the front. If you don't feel that, it's okay. Work in a smaller range of motion. Maybe don't do this stretch, right? It's okay to skip. But just to work in a way that feels really gentle and healthy to you. Today's a slow day. It's definitely an easy day. Earlier, I was like, I should just do a class where I don't talk at all. Because I don't know if I can talk today. It turns out I can. So too bad for you guys. I mean, I guess you could always just turn off the sound. All right, back and forth. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So bring your right leg behind, your left leg in the front, and you're going to scissor both legs together. So your front leg's going to try to kick back, your back leg's going to try to pull forward. Use your front leg to pull you into this lunge so that you get a stretch right to the front of your hip here on the left. And then use your left leg to pull you back. This is your strength training move. And you just go back and forth, front to back, just like this, okay? Back for strength here, forward into your stretch. Back and forth. Easy as that, right? Just make sure that you're always resisting, always moving. Be gentle with yourself. Make sure that you're working in the range that feels good to you. Don't go further than you need to, right? This is just about it's like if you had a rubber band that was too tight, and so you just kind of pull it a few times to loosen it up. Like a hairband, before you put it in your hair, you kind of open it up a little bit so that it has a little more give, right? You're just kind of giving your whole body a little bit more give today. That's it. You don't have to worry about like whether you can touch your toes or you can fold up into a pretzel or if you can do that crazy yoga pose, right? We will do a crazy yoga pose at the end of class, so I'm excited about it. It's a beautiful twist. It's so awesome. So hang out for that. Just you wait. I love it. Oh, I know. It's actually the whole reason why I'm here today. It's just to do that one stretch. And I'm getting my body ready for it because it's going to open up. Okay, let's do our inner thighs again, but different than the splits in the air. This one's our side lunge. They kind of go hand in hand because you're also going to get your inner thighs. This is similar to the one we started with, but in a little bit different way. So grab your wrist with your other hand over your head, and you're going to resist like you're pulling both arms apart. Push your foot into the ground, and just go back and forth. So you go to the left, and then to the right. Or if you're looking at me on the camera, you would switch that. So you pull to the right, and then over your straight leg to the left. Okay? You just go back and forth. You should feel this from the side here, all the way down towards your hip on the side body, and also on your inner thigh. If you don't feel your inner thigh, bring your leg out just a little bit further. Right? The further out your leg is, the more intense the stretch will be, but also the more resistance you'll have to make sure that you feel this on your inner thigh and your leg is supported, right? If you can't resist there, then you probably feel some knee pain, some uncomfortableness, like you feel unstable, like your knee wants to bend, right? But a nice strong adductor, that's this muscle, would be able to hold you up in this position. If it's not that strong, come in a little closer, right? You'll feel better. You just go back and forth. All right. Oh, and let's do the other side. So now bring your right leg out to the side. Grab your wrist with your right hand. It really doesn't matter which hand you grab. And then try to pull both arms apart. You'll push open for strength, open to the left wall, and then pull towards your right foot for your stretch. Finding that stretch on the outside here, but also your inner thigh. Okay, so you just go back and forth. Open and close. See if you can find the stretch in the best way for you, okay? Open for strength. Close it up for your stretch. Finding that stretch in your inner thigh. And on the outside of your torso here, right? Only go as far as your body wants to go. Be nice to yourself, okay? And just take some time to be really present with who you are and how you feel right now. Right? You don't need to do anything too crazy. You want to be gentle with yourself, nurturing. Right? Take care of your body, take care of your soul. These things are connected. Yeah, I like to treat my muscles like they're animals, right? Like a scared animal. You would never force a dog to do something that was scared of you, right? Like you just can't be in that position with animals and make them trust you and love you, right? So same thing with your muscles. You just want to treat them kindly with respect so that they feel safe, and then they'll work within your boundaries. But if they don't feel safe, they're going to create more boundaries. It'll be more of a fight. So be nice to yourself when you're stretching. There's no reason to do anything crazy, okay? Bring your hands together, your thumbs over your head. We're going to work on a rotator cuff. So squeeze your elbows together and then try to open back up. This is a stretch for the back of your shoulders, maybe between your shoulder blades. Just do what feels good to you, okay? So you don't have to close all the way, but make sure your hands stay over your head if that feels all right. So it's all right if your range is this big. It's no problem. You just do what feels right, okay? You guys, this just reminds me. I was walking in the park today, and there's this part of the park that's mulched, and it's a nature-y area where they planted a bunch of wildflowers. And it's just gorgeous. And the flowers grow up huge in the summer. Right now, they're still pretty small. And I was walking, just minding my own business. And a bird full on attacked me on my head, just like in the movies. It all of a sudden, I think it wanted to use my hair for its nest, or maybe it was being aggressive. Maybe there was babies around or something. I don't know, but it grabbed my head. It was the weirdest thing that's ever happened. This stretch is like the don't grab my head, weird bird stretch. Okay, that being said, we're going to go into a stretch now for the front of your shoulders. So bring a chair in front of you. You can also use a countertop or a table. That'd be okay too. Then just put your hands on top of the chair. Stand back a little ways so that you got a lot of room there and so that you're putting your weight into your hands. And then from here, just bend at your waist and bring your head through. You'll feel this in the front of your shoulders, in your chest. Then use your arms to pull you back up. If you feel anything in the back of your shoulders or on the top of your shoulders, like by your neck, then just skip this stretch. I think we'll come back to this one today. So up for strength and down for your stretch. You kind of just like stick your butt out, get your tailbone as far away from your arms as you can. At the same time, see if you can find some strength in your spine. So it's almost like if somebody was pushing on your back, or like if someone was going to stand on you, you'd have enough strength in your spine to push you back up. Oh. Find that stretch in the front of your shoulders and just go up and down. I got to tell you guys, when was it? Was it Friday? I think it must have been Friday. I woke up like my shoulder was a mess. I don't know what I did. Something got really out of alignment. And we did this great class on Friday for my shoulder, and now it's fine. It took a few days. It took some time to recover, but doing that really aligned. So if you guys are having any shoulder pain now, especially in these past couple stretches that we've done, check out that video. It was from, I think the title of it is like, I slept on my shoulder wrong. Okay, that would be a really great one for you to do. Either skip right to that one right now or do it on a different day. It was great. Okay, so the next stretch, let's do our lats next. Bring your right arm up and bring your elbow up towards the ceiling. Let your hand fall down where it wants to fall. Mine goes right about where the base of my spine and my neck come together. But, you know, it could be at your head. It could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. You just don't have a lever you can hold. That's your elbow. So bring your left arm up and grab your elbow. From here, you're going to try to pull both arms apart. So you're pulling this way, okay? Then from here, pull towards your left knee. So it's a down and across. Keep your hips grounded. Now, I'm sitting on my knees because that's how I like to sit for this stretch. You could also sit on your, on your butt. Just like sit flat on the ground. Like either cross-legged like this. You could have one leg out to the side. You could even do this sitting in a chair. I don't know why my ears an itch. Okay, so push up for strength and pull over for your stretch. Now, as long as your hips stay on the ground, you're pulling your shoulder away from your hip, and you're going to get the stretch through your lats all the way down the side. It's nice. So take your time on it again. Be gentle with yourself. Do what feels good to you. Opening up in the best way, right? In the way that feels the best. Oh, it's a good one. This one's so important sometimes. To me, it's really like the connecting muscle group between your upper body and your lower body, because it reaches all the way down from your shoulders to your hips. It's kind of like this huge back muscle, side muscle. So it's a nice way to complete the cycle, complete the upper and lower body. It's very important. Now, of course, if you have any pain in this one, if you're feeling the top of your shoulder pinchy, just skip this stretch. And you can either revisit it later or you can revisit it on another day. That would be okay too, okay? All right, bring your left arm up so that your hand just kind of hovers behind your spine there, like kind of like where your, where that bone is, that bony part of your neck. Then you're gonna grab your elbow with the other hand and resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. Then from here, pull towards your right knee. So your right arm is gonna win. Keep your hips grounded. Your left arm is going to try to push you back up. Okay, so find that stretch. See if it feels good to you. Gather some information. Find the stretch in the back of your shoulder, like right through here, back of the torso. If you feel it in the top of your shoulder or like by your shoulder blades, not the good stretch for you. So up for strength and down for your stretch. And you just go back and forth, up and down. That's it. It's that simple. Again, be gentle with yourself. Do what feels good for you, right? Honor where you are in the stretch in a moment. And if anything feels scary or like intimidating, or you're just not sure, then move within the range that feels safe and good to you. And if all you do is watch this stretch today, that would be okay, right? That's totally fine. If you want to dive deeper into the stretches, you can actually look at some of my other playlists. You could even reach out to me in the description box below. It tells you how to do that, and you can do a one-on-one session with me too. That's a possibility. Okay, bring your right arm in close to your body. We're going to stretch out our deltoids now. So put your left hand on top of your wrist and try to push both arms apart. You'll push up for strength and then down for stretch. So your top arm is going to push you down. When you get down to the bottom, bring your head over to the left. That's going to give you a stretch through your neck and shoulder on the right side. Okay? Up for strength, then down for stretch, and then find that stretch in your neck. It's nice, very healing today. Very healing day for us. Up for strength and down for stretch. When you bring your head to the side, you can just give it a little bit of a nod. Make sure you're still resisting with your hands and your wrist. That'll keep the muscles engaged. And just a little nod front to back is going to wrap that stretch around through your neck and these muscles here on the top. Okay? Through your shoulder, the side of your neck. You don't have to look either way. You just keep your head straight, looking forward, but you bring your ear to your shoulder. Okay, so your ear comes straight over to the side, and then a little bit of a head nod. You just say yes. Yes to the stretch. All right, and then let's do the other side. Bring your left arm in, grab your wrist with your right hand. You're going to resist like you're pulling both arms apart. Push up for strength, and then pull down for your stretch. And as you pull down, you'll still resist. You feel the top of your shoulder, hopefully, maybe just working or maybe a stretch. Either way would be fine. And then just bring your ear over to the right this time and see if you can find that stretch in your neck. And then you just go back and forth. It's so funny because I had that shoulder pain. It was on this side. I am still very timid in this one. This move feels good. But as I come to this side, I feel myself waiting for this side to seize up, and it's not because it's cured itself. It's fixed its issue. But it's a little slow. Now this one, really tight. It's funny. Bodies are so funny. They protect you in silly ways, and a lot of it's just neuromuscular connections, right? So as we're changing the body and fixing things and reestablishing new neuromuscular connections, we have to retrain them. So as I go to bring my head to the side, I feel a little bit like, is this going to be okay? I'm not really sure. And as I go into the stretch, I reinforce that I am okay. I don't have any pain on the other side today. It's amazing. And then I can get that good stretch. But I have to retrain my body to know that it's safe. And so that little bit of hesitation is still there. That's why this type of stretching is so important. Because in a resistance move, I learned that I'm still capable of getting out of the stretch. I'm safe no matter where I am because I'm resisting. So even in the biggest range of motion, I can still lift my arm up. It's kind of amazing. Cool. Okay. All right, let's go back to our rotator cuff stretch. It's always a good one to revisit. Bring your hands over your head and try to squeeze your elbows together. Just do as many of these as you feel like you want to, and then we're going to go into our chest stretch again that I said we'd revisit on the chair. So maybe we'll do like 4 or 5 of these just to kind of get it opened up a little bit more. And then grab your chair. Put your hands on the back of the chair. You could also use a counter or a table, whatever works. Let your feet be back far enough that you really feel your weight on your hands, like you're really able to push your hands down into the chair. Then bend at your hips and pull your head through. See if you can find that deeper stretch to the front of your shoulders. And then use your arms to pull you back up. You just go back and forth in a way that feels really good to you. And again, just honor what your body needs today. Don't take it too far. Just be gentle, be nice. Train your body to know where it's safe, and then come right back up. But don't take your body into a place that doesn't feel safe. Oh, that's so great. Oh, I love it. Okay. Up for strength and down for stretch. Awesome. Awesome, my friends. All right. Now we'll lay on our backs. We're going to do a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Bring your right leg up and grab your big toe with your right hand. If you want to also, instead, you could grab your heel. That would be okay. And if you're having trouble reaching, you can use a yoga rope or, a strap, a yoga strap, to extend your arms so that you're, a little more range. This is helpful if your arms are short, From here, your knee opens up to about 45 degrees out. So I just like to give it a little shove with my elbow to get it to open up. I don't continue pushing it with my elbow. I just kind of give it a little hey, that way. And then it finds its spot. Then I'm going to kick down. As I pull up, I'm going to pull in a diagonal to the right, but the pull motion is an up motion over your head. So don't try to actively pull to the right wall. Your leg is already moving in that direction because it's angled that way, right? So think of it more as a down and up motion, finding the stretch in your inside hamstring. Right here. Hopefully that feels good to you. Down for strength and up for stretch. And you just go back and forth. And again, I'm working in the range that feels safe and good to you. If you don't feel this in your inside hamstring, then switch sides. We can come back to this one tomorrow, or maybe even today. We'll see how timing goes. I'm going to get a nice stretch through the inner thigh right here. Okay. It's warm in here today. Summertime, you guys. Okay, now let's go to the other side. Let your knee open up to the side. Take your left hand and grab your left big toe or your heel or a wrap strap around your foot, whatever you need, okay? Kick down for strength and then continue kicking down while you pull up into your stretch. Find that stretch in your inside hamstring. Kick down for strength and up for stretch. Find the stretch that works the best for you, okay? Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. Be gentle with yourself today. Today's all about being gentle. Down for strength and up for stretch. All right. Now we're going to stretch our quads. Sometimes I get a little slack, or get some flack for this one. This stretch, people are always like, that's my IT band. We're actually stretching a really high part of the quad. This is the way that you grab a very specific muscle group within the quad muscle group, the sartorius muscle. So we're going to work on that one today, okay? So what you do is you stay up, laying down, bring your left leg off your mat. It'll be out at about a 45-degree angle from your body if your hips will let you do that. But if they don't, it's okay. They can be closer in. You can find the range that feels best to you. My rule of thumb here is to just pick up your leg and set it off your mat to the side. Your body knows exactly where that is. Okay, just find it. Then take your right leg and hook it on top of your knees so that you can resist between your right leg and your left leg. Okay. Then push with your left leg kind of out this way as far as you'll go, and then use your right leg to pull you down. Your foot will turn as you go. Don't put too much pressure on your foot. Think about resisting from your hip. Keep your butt on the ground and then come right back up. And you just go back and forth. You want to make sure that your hips stay as stable as possible. You might notice a little bit of lift, like a little is okay. But what you don't want is for your whole body to kind of like turn over so that you get your knee to the ground. A lot of people do that stretch to stretch out their spine, to come like this and let their hips roll over. That's not this stretch. It's a different stretch. So keep your hips grounded, okay? That means that my pelvis is not going to turn. If you need to, you can hold your hip bone right here in the front on the left side. And if you notice that it starts to roll, then you've gone far enough. You should feel this through the front of your leg into your hip. Sometimes it might be more local, like in the top of your hip, like where your pockets would be. Or it could go all the way through your leg and down into the inner part of your knee. Just what feels good to you, okay? So only go as far as feels good. Some people are like, no problem in this stretch, like they go all the way to the floor. Some people move an inch, like they're like this much. That is totally fine. You do what you need to do, right? A lot of these movements are like not, a lot of times the purpose, let me say it this way, the purpose of these stretches is not for you to get your knee to the ground. It's to turn on the neuromuscular facilitation, right? We want to make sure that your muscles are working with your brain in the proper way. And sometimes it just is a little bit of movement. That's okay, right? That's going to help open up other things. As those other things open up, that's going to help open this one up too, okay? All right, so let's do the other side. Let your leg, just pick it up and let it fall open to the side where it wants to be. Then hook your left leg on top of your knee. Try to resist between your right and left leg. Use your left leg to pull you down towards the mat. Keep your hips on the ground and then push right back up. You should feel this in the outer part of your right hip, maybe through the side of your leg, maybe all the way to the inner part of your knee. All of those would be okay, all right? If you feel anything different, like especially if you feel it like in your inner thighs, then this isn't your stretch. Okay, so you can just get away from the stretch, like just don't do it, and we'll move on to something different later. It would be the time for you to like get a drink of water. You can revisit the stretch on another day, okay, after other things have unlocked, or move in a really small range of motion. Awesome. 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 All right, let's look at our hamstrings next. So we've done our central hamstring, which is right down the middle, and we've done our medial hamstring, which is near inner thigh almost. This one's going to be more like outer thigh. So what you'll do is bring your left arm in close, put your left hand behind your head so you can raise your shoulders up a little bit, and take your right arm over your shin and grab the back of your foot, like the side of your foot here. You're going to internally rotate by turning your knee in towards your elbow. And then from here, you kick down for strength, then you pull up for stretch. This is giving you a diagonal stretch. I'm going to walk you through that one more time for those of you who didn't catch it the first time. Bring your left leg in, take your right arm over your leg and grab the outside of your foot, and then turn your knee in towards that arm. So your knee will be on the same diagonal as your right arm. Your whole leg is like on that diagonal from your hand to your shoulder. And then as you pull up, you're going to get a stretch to the outer part of your hamstring right through here. Down for strength, and you pull up for your stretch. And you just go back and forth. Down and up. Easy peasy, right? If you need a strap, like if you cannot reach your foot, it's okay. Just wrap a strap around your foot in your hand. It'll extend the length of your arm. It's actually really helpful if you don't like to have your head up. You can have your head down and extend the range so that it feels better. Or if your shoulders get really tired when you do these stretches, using a strap can help with that too. Okay? So down for strength, pulling up for your stretch. You should feel this on the outer part of your hamstring. Remember not to try to pull into a place where it feels like a strain. But you never want to stretch to feel like you're making effort to get it a little further. Don't do that. It's not helpful. It actually can backfire on you. So make sure that you're stretching to a place where you feel like the rubber bands just feels a little stretchy. The end of the range, and then you pull right back down. So you don't try to get it past that point. When it stops, okay? Now let's do the other side. Hold your head with your right hand, bring your right leg up. Take your left hand and grab the outside of your foot. Turn your knee in towards your left elbow so that your leg and your arm are on the same diagonal. If you need a rope, use it, okay? Okay, down for strength. And then pull up for your stretch. You're pulling up and over your left shoulder. Down for strength, up for stretch. And you just go up and down just like that. Down for strength, then up for stretch. And the outside of your hamstring here, it's the outer part, the part that's closest to this wall. It's stretching here in the outer part. If you feel anything different, then just skip the stretch, especially if you feel anything in your inner thighs again. So we're going to do that stretch next. Down for strength, then up for stretch. And again, don't take it too far. Don't try to pull it further than it wants to go. Work in the range that feels good to you. And then kick right back out of it, okay? Now come up into a seated position. Bring your feet in front of you. We're going to be kind of doing like a butterfly pose. Your feet together, your elbows on your knees, and you're going to push down and kind of sweep open with your arms. That's going to give you resistance against your inner thighs, the groin area. So push up for strength, and then use your arms to push you open. Groin stretch. You should start to feel this in your inner thighs. If you don't feel that, it's okay. Just try to resist a little bit more, maybe. Sometimes that happens, especially if you're overly flexible. If you have any pain, stay in small ranges of motion or just don't do it at all. Okay, don't do anything that doesn't feel good. I know I say that a million times, but I mean it. I mean it. I say it a million times because I've taught enough classes to know that I can tell people that one time and they might need to hear it like 7,000 times before they believe me, or before it really sets in, because a lot of times people think that if they need to strain their body to get it to do something, right? That's not how flexibility works. It's not how it works at all. It's not a fight. This is not a fight. It's a little bit of a tug of war. I mean, we're definitely doing a little bit of resistance here, but this is not a battle, right? You don't have to overpower. You don't have to push harder than what your body wants to do. It should always feel healthy and it should always feel comfortable for you. So up for strength and down for stretch. Awesome. Okay. Now lay on your back and we're going to go back into our inner thighs, into our medial hamstrings as well. We're going to do this in two different ways. And it all comes down to how you rotate your legs. So lay on your back, bring your feet up towards the ceiling. Let your feet open up so your heels are together and you're externally rotated. That means your toes are pointed out. Grab your knees on the inside, squeeze in for strength, and open up for your stretch. This will give you a stretch in your inner thighs. Then use your legs to pull you back in. This is strength training. Use your arms to open you up. This is your stretch. Do as many of these as you want to do to feel your inner hamstrings right through here. Sorry, my hair is pulling funny. Not as funny as when that bird tried to pull my bun off of my head. What a crazy situation. Couldn't believe it. I've never been attacked by a bird before. It's so funny. I was really out like appreciating nature too. Maybe I was getting a little too like St. Francis of Assisi. The bird was like, not today, Carrie. Not today. All right, so now bring your toes together and your heels out just a little bit. And then we're going to just change the rotation. This is going to change how the stretch feels. You probably won't go as far. It'll be more inner thigh. And then squeeze in. And again, just work in the range that feels really good to you. I find it's also very important for my arms to be completely straight here. So let your legs open, like come towards the wall a little bit so that you're really like perpendicular to the floor. Otherwise, it'll pinch up a little bit in the front of your hips. And you just go back and forth, keeping your toes turned in. This internal rotation gives you a little bit more of an adductor stretch, this inner thigh here, but it's more like right on the inside, less like hamstring, like we had before. So in for strength And open up for your stretch, keeping your toes pointing in. All right. Good stuff, my friends. All right. Great, great, great. Okay, I'm just going to check the chat real quick. Oh, good. We have lots of time, too. Okay, let's come up into a seated position. And I'm going to work a bit on, let's see, what would help us in the best way? I think. Sorry, there are 4 stretches. I'm just trying to decide which one to start with because it does make a difference. And since we're working on grief so much, let's work on the front of our chest because this tends to be where we also can hold grief. It's kind of where we just like cave in, like that kind of feeling. So let's really open that up. So we're going to do push-ups on the wall. Okay, so come on up to the wall. Hopefully you can see me from here. I'll just check the camera. I think you can. Okay. So you'll have your arms wide to the side. Bring your feet back far enough that you really feel like you're holding yourself up with your arms. And then bend your elbows to bring your head close to the wall. Your whole body stays in a plank position. You should feel the front of your chest stretch. And then you come right back up. So the stretch goes from your sternum up towards your elbow. Like towards the elbows, yeah, but mostly like towards the upper part of your shoulder here. Okay? Whew, so arms wide. Into that push-up, stretching out the front of your chest, and then use your arms to push you back up. And you just go back and forth. I have really funny light in here, so it looks like I have a few arms. So when I go into the stretch, I see like multiple shadows of arms. It's kind of funny. Oh, I forget who the goddess is. The Hindu goddess is it Shiva who has all the arms? And I'm invoking her presence to see what she's about. Let's do one more. That was so awesome to me. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I haven't felt that stretch like that in a long time. So whatever arm work we did early in the week and like that arm session on Friday, whew, awesome. I think it was Friday and then I did a follow-up on Tuesday with some arm stretches in the door that were really great. And then I also, shoulders are a lot about like burdens and stuff, and closing the studio was obviously a pretty big burden, so I let go of that too, but my arms feel awesome today. All right, so now bring your right arm up like you're pulling a train whistle. Grab the outside of your elbow with the other hand and try to pull both arms apart. Push open for strength, open towards the skeleton, or to your right if you don't have a skeleton in your house, and then pull to the left. If you want a skeleton, I haven't really, I don't know, my space, my whole world is pretty zen, it's pretty minimal, and having a skeleton in here is kind of weird. I'll have to get used to him. I don't know, Jeff. I don't know about you in my house. It does give me someone else to talk to during quarantine instead of just Suri the cat. I'll bring him into the kitchen when I cook, because sometimes I talk to Suri and she's not even there. They're the cats, I tell you. All right, you should feel this stretch in the back of your shoulder right through here. Hopefully that feels good to you, okay? If it doesn't, move in smaller ranges. Just be gentle with yourself, be nice to yourself. We usually aim for about 10 repetitions, but when you feel like you're ready to be done with the stretch, it's okay to be done. Just do as many as you want, because you're in charge of your life, right? Bring your left arm up, grab your elbow with your other hand, and you're gonna resist like you're pulling both arms apart. Push open towards the left wall this time, and pull across to the right. Again, you'll feel the stretch in the back of your shoulder, like right back through here. And just go back and forth, open and close. Find that stretch in the back of your shoulder, work in the range that feels good, be gentle with yourself today, do as many as you want to do, it's okay. It's okay. Open and close. I think it's important when we're talking about grief especially since today's kind of that seems to be the topic of class. I mean, of course, stretching doesn't just have to be about that. And I think it's interesting because whether you feel like you're in the midst of grief or not, we all have grief of some sort. And I mean, it doesn't matter whether it was like your cat died when you were 7 years old, or whether you lost a parent, or whether you lost a loved one, or whether you closed a business, or whether, anything could be grief, right? We have these things. It could be because you left your high school friends and you have grief because you don't have the same kind of relationship, that sort of thing, right? We all have it, and we all hold it in our bodies, especially when we don't want to face it up front, right? These stretches aren't going to force you to face it up front. It's just going to take the tension out of your body that you've been holding in. So maybe you'll be able to process that grief in a better way. Maybe you'll be able to look at it more honestly, or maybe it will just pass on its own like clouds going through the sky. You don't even have to address it. It just goes. It's so funny. I have clients who have come to me after losing parents, and it's been a while, but they have like boxes and boxes of things they need to sort through, or stuff they haven't been wanting to really face because they're grieving. And we do some stretches, we really focus on this kind of stuff, and then without even thinking about it, without even processing anything, without even making a conscious decision, they clean out the box of their dad's clothes, or go through the things of their moms that they were, that they've been just sitting, they haven't addressed, right? I think it's important to understand that sometimes we hold tension in our bodies, and as you let that tension out, other things can happen, can be allowed to happen without it being a big deal, right? It's kind of amazing to me. Let's get back to stretching. Bring your right arm across your body and grab your wrist with your left hand. With this stretch, you can sit however you want to get. I'm just on my knees because I like it. Then from here, try to resist by pulling your arms apart. Push up for strength, finding that tension in the top of your shoulder here, and then pull across your body. This is your stretch. As you pull across, you can bring your head also to the left and get a stretch through your neck and shoulders. I cannot believe the difference. It's like night and day from the other day with my shoulder. It was bad, you guys. It was really bad. Up for strength and down for stretch. I don't even know what I did. I must have moved funny in my sleep. And I totally knocked my shoulder out of place somehow. It hurt bad. 2 days of stretching, a little bit of rest, some Epsom salts. It's fine. It's totally fine. Right? Oh yeah, let go of giant burdens you're holding on to. Let that stuff go too. Right? It's the secret to shoulder pain. Oh, it's amazing. What I'm amazed at is how good I feel right now in comparison to when we started. I was so sad. I didn't know that I'd be able to get through class today. Now I feel like I can handle this. I can handle this day. Right? I hope you feel the same way too, especially if you came to this class because you're dealing with grief. I hope you feel a little bit more, what's the right word? It doesn't change the fact that the grief's there, right? It doesn't remove the grief. I just feel more courageous about approaching it, if that's the right way to say it. I really think grief a lot of times is about fear. This comes from a couple years ago, I had a cat that I loved. And you know how it is to lose a pet. It's so sad. And I was traumatized. I mean, I was just like, I couldn't believe it was sudden. It was like traumatic. It all happened so fast. I mean, it was horrible. And I was grieving so hard that it scared me. I was like, I don't know why I can't, I would heave heavy cries out of the blue. I'd be fine. And then all of a sudden I'd just be I'd lose it. And I couldn't figure out why, because I was like, it's a cat. This, I loved her. It was great, but it was her time to go. I get it. Bring your hands behind you. Turn your fingers in towards your feet. And then we're going to rotate our shoulders in. Keep pushing with your hands to bring your chest up. You can open your chest this way and bring your head back. And then you pull in for strength. Then you push up for your stretch. So you're just rotating your shoulders in this one. In for strength and up for stretch. So as I was dealing with this grief, I mean, I'm the type of person that I really want to dive into, like, why is this happening? Like, why do I feel this so viscerally? I mean, I felt like really primitive about it. And it turns out the science of grief is that when someone in your tribe passes away, when you lose stability in some way, when you lose your security, then your risk of dying is also very high. That's a caveman kind of response. So like if you were a caveman and somebody in your tribe died, then maybe it was an illness, maybe it was an accident, maybe it was a predator, then you get a huge burst of adrenaline to make sure that you can get away. That you can get away from wherever you were, you can get away from that tiger that ate your friend, right? You want to escape, so you get fight or flight. And that's the grief element, is this feeling of like crippling fear, fight or flight. And then you go into surrender mode, which is the fetal position and the heavy sobs, right? But also you get this huge amount of adrenaline that has to go through your heart valves. And you actually get an expansion of your ventricles, which makes, I forget what they call it. It's a Japanese term, but I want to say Hashimoto's, and that's an autoimmune disorder. Anyway, you can look it up, but basically it's broken heart syndrome. You can actually die from it, and it's basically your heart just like expanding to be able to accept that much adrenaline. So this is a very physical response. It doesn't change the fact that you're sad. Being sad is totally fine. What it changes is the fact that your adrenaline is like constantly pumping through your body because there's fear involved. So if you can learn to tackle that fear and the adrenaline to calm yourself down, then you can actually just be sad. It's okay to just be sad. What's not okay is for you to be sitting in place when your body wants to run or fight or curl up into a ball and cry, and you're trying to pretend like everything's okay. It's a different story altogether. So learning to tackle those things, part of it would be stretching, right, to make yourself feel better. Let's bring our right arm across our body again, and we're going to do this up and down, because I think this is a really nice one for today. Pull down and across, you'll bring your head to the side. So learning how to calm down that fight or flight response, to let the adrenaline rush through you if it needs to, by going for a run, hitting some punching bags, even calling a friend to vent can be very helpful, right? Just warn your friend first. Say, hey, listen, I'm an adrenaline mess. I need to vent. Will you be my punching board for just a second? Don't take anything personally. Sometimes you just need to do that. So get both sides here. If you remember, the stretch is pretty simple. You just pull across your body. Bring your head to the same side that you're pulling your hand, okay? All right. Now the next stretch we're going to go into is our twist. This one is amazing. It's so amazing. And I don't know what it is about this stretch, except that it just really opens you up in a way that makes you feel really light, takes away some of that heavy feeling. It makes you feel really like calm, peaceful. People call it the La La Land stretch. It's a wonderful stretch. So bring your right leg out to the side. Actually, you know what, I'll switch it. I'll mirror. Bring your left leg out to the side so that we look the same. So your left leg out to the side, your right leg tucks in. Now you can do this in whatever way feels good to you. So I'm open here because this is where my body wants to be. But you could be like this, and that would be okay too. Just find the place that feels the best to you. Then take your left hand and turn it upside down and lean over so that you can put the top of your arm on your upper thigh. So they're kind of pressing into each other. And then grab your toe with your hands, like your claw. You could also wrap a strap around your foot if that's easier for you to reach. If you're in closer, it'll just look like this. Or like here, it's okay. You just find what works the best for you. Then bring your hand to your head. What you're going to do is pull with your left hand into your foot and push with your upper arm into your leg. So there's tension between your arm and your leg. And then twist down towards the floor. Your whole torso is facing down. Then you open up towards the sun, like up towards the sky, stretching open, and then twist back down. And it's just like the sun rising. You are like, your arms like the sun right. You just stretch right open. You should feel this from like your torso here all around. You could even reach across. That sometimes makes it a little nicer. Just find what works the best for you. And of course, if it doesn't feel good, just don't do it. It's not a big deal. Do what feels right to you. Oh, okay, let's switch sides. So now bring your left leg in. Take your right leg open to the side. My knees bent. I've got my foot flexed. And I'm going to take my right arm and turn it over so my palm's facing up. I'm going to lean over so that my upper arm hits my thigh here. And then I'm going to grab my foot, just like a lobster claw. Grab my foot. So my thumb's on the top of my foot, my fingers are on the bottom. If you need a towel or a strap, wrap it around your foot. That'll extend your arm range. Also, if you need to change this angle of your legs, you can bring it in closer. You can bring it out more. You can bring it further to the floor. Whatever feels good to you. You find the place where your body wants to be. Then your hand on your head. You're going to resist with your right hand against your leg in as many different ways as you can think. Push from your upper arm here, pull with your arm, just really feel this tension between your leg and your arm. Twist down. It's kind of our strength training motion. And then you're going to open up like the sun rising. You just raise up towards the sky. You can reach if you want. You just find that peace and joy that's part of the stretch. It's so beautiful. Just like the sun. Every day the sun comes up. Doesn't matter how it feels, it still comes up, right? Eventually it always stops raining, the sun always comes out. Let's do one more. You can reach your arm across if you want to, if that feels good. Oh boy. And then just take a second because you might feel a little like, whoo, okay. It's the La La Land stretch for a reason, because that's how it feels. All right, my friends. I hope you enjoyed class today. I hope for any of you who are dealing with grief, who found your way to this because of the grief that you're dealing with, that you found some peace today. I know I did. I know it's going to help me get through my day a little bit better today, and hopefully, pass through this as quickly as I can. Feel free to reach out if any of you guys have any questions. If anybody wants to work one-on-one, let me know. Class like this is 6 days a week, you guys. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. Central, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 9 a.m. Central. Put those in your calendar. And then also, if any of you guys would like to support the channel, the best thing you can do is subscribe. Click the little button in the corner. If you found value in today's class, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it by leaving a note in the comments. But I'll tell you guys, just that little thumbs up makes a huge difference, because that means that YouTube is going to pick up that you liked this. That means they'll suggest it to other people who are just like you, who are searching for the same things that you like. So if you have a problem and somehow I've helped you find a solution to that, clicking that like button is going to help other people who also need the same solution. Okay, so click that. It's the best thing you can do for other people. I also have a link in my bio below. I run this channel off of donations. I do these classes for free because I love you guys. I want you to have the best. So if you are able to contribute to the channel and you'd like to, just click that little button underneath and you can make me a little contribution to my PayPal account. All right, my friends, that's all I've got for today. I'll see